how to quote your video and photo productions. I prepared a special file for you and I will share with you here in a few seconds. Okay guys, so let's start. This document is in numbers, and I advise you to use numbers. You can use it on your iPhone, your iPad, or your Mac, of course. And I think even if you have Windows, you may still use it online, but you have to check about it. Let's name this job. Let's say Super Beer Commercial. And the date is April 20th, 2023. The customer is Beer Super Ltd. Okay. And so let's start from pre-production. As you see, each voice, each possible expense that we will incur into, as this square, it's just a check mark basically, and here we are going to state if this particular job, sub job, let's say, it's performed in-house or not. Let's say R&D is performed in-house and we are going to pay ourselves 30 euros per hour. Of course, you can change it to your currency. And we are talking about 4 hours in this case, and here we are going to state hours as unit. So this is how we are going to populate this script. Again, 30 euros, 2 hours, again it's fine. And I will not bore you using this for a big production. Also, because I think that the best use you can do of a quotation spreadsheet is for small productions where you really understand what you are selling. Because we are, especially when we are very small, or maybe you are just a professional, you're just a sole proprietorship, or you are not considering all your expenses, what you are doing, and so it's much better to start from this, even if the job is very small. Let's talk about a video commercial shot in one day, where I go by myself, plus a junior gaffer, just a guy that I will pay 100 euros to come with me and helps me with lighting and transportation of things. So this will be very, very easy job, okay? So let's start from this. From this point of view, let's even remove the need of scripts, etc. Let's hope that I can do everything in 4 hours, and I will write more or less as, a shot list for this simple spot. So no casting, nothing. I just need to go there and create a spot about the beer and bring in my camera, not renting anything. Very simple. That's why I think this comes handy. Of course, if the production is more complex, you can use it and it will be very easy to use it. Location rental, we have no rental. Food and beverage, yes, we are two and we need to eat that day. And so we are going to put something like 50 euros. We eat quite a lot. It's a fixed cost. Transportation, let's say 30 euros in gas. It's fixed, no legal stuff. Let's say I will be act as DP. Now here the choice is, if we act as a small production company and we consider ourselves employees, and at the end you will see why I'm doing this distinction, I may pay myself the proportion of my monthly wage for 1 day of production. Normally here we are going to put whatever we would pay for an operator or a DP. Normally in Italy, unless we talk with big professionals, in Italy or Cyprus, a DP or operator or someone comes to do a spot for one day, it's roughly 500 euros, no more than this. If the company is mine and I just want to consider this as an expense, and also if I have, like, for example, a second camera that I have to pay extra, there is just another professional that comes and invoices me, I could put something more. So the choice here is to put like 100, 150 euros that represents my daily work as an employee. Or I can put my normal rate. Depends what I'm trying to do here. If it's a big production and I want to have margin at the end, of course I cannot overcharge something that is already overcharged. So I need to understand how much I value per day as an employee, not as a company, not as a production company. We will go on the margin after. So here I can stay in between with, let's say, 200 euros, which is the daily rate of my bare expenses if I would employ myself, which is more or less what is my expense, because it's not convenient having a very high wage. In Cyprus, it's more convenient having dividends on a company rather than the wage. So I would put like 200 euros, which is not my hourly rate. If you call me and say, Pasquale, can you come here? And okay, it's my rate in my own company, okay? And this is daily, so fine. And then I have a gaffer that I will pay 200 euros. Wow, 200 euros for one day. So easy, no drone, no hair makeup, no talents, nothing. Now, very important, camera and lenses, rental of equipment. Either if we rent something or we don't rent something, we should put something here. Because, okay, let's say we just own 1 or 2 cameras and some lights. What's the value of our total equipment? Let's split it through our equipment in 1-2 years. Let's say we have $10,000 of equipment, so we are very, very small. We have very basic equipment. And let's say we do 100 jobs per year. We should at least consider for each job something like 100 euros, at least, just for whatever we bring. Because we have to consider that equipment can be stolen, can break. We need to update our equipment. If we don't consider the equipment as an expense, our equipment will become obsolete, or we will need to buy our equipment with our own money that we earned as an employee or as the owner of the company. So here we are trying to consider how much value as our equipment in one day of work. Let's say we bring a couple of cameras. Let's say we bring some lights, some lenses, audio recorder, microphone, something. If we rent the whole thing, probably we will go to spend, like, for one day 500 euros, considering also that we cannot rent anything almost for just one day because there's no time to to ship and receive back the things. But okay, let's consider something around 500 for everything. Let's say 300. I would not populate everything. I would just roughly do camera, lenses and lights very easily. Consumables, do we need to deliver the file on hard drive or something? Yes, no. Let's say yes, and let's consider 50 euros, 40 euros for this. And these are all fixed costs. Yeah, one is a fixed cost. Then we have post-production. Post-production, we have to consider montage, color correction and grading. And here I would put an hourly rate of at least 40 euros for an internal operator. And hours, it's a very simple thing. Let's say 5 hours, 2 hours. Very simple. Let's keep it simple. I want you to imagine that one of the simplest jobs that you can have. So we are talking about 7 hours of total editing, 1 day of shooting. It's not a big job, you know. I need you to focalize on this range, okay? Hours, easy. Subtitles, nothing CGI, nothing. Let's say a voiceover I will buy on Fiverr for 50 euros, one, and it's a fixed expense. Yes, I will search for my music, but I will not bill it. Let's say here we have to consider also that if we have like a subscription to audio or to whatever website, story blogs or Envato for our music, we have to consider something. We are paying 300, 200, 500 in total. Let's say we have 500 total subscriptions for music. We have to consider something here, which could be something about 50 euros, even if it's a fixed fee. And we will consider it internal because it's an income for the company, considering the whole yearly expenses of the company. Like, for example, for an employee, the profit comes to the company, but the company needs to pay then the employee. That's why we are doing these distinctions. And this is a fixed expense. Translation, stock footage, no. Insurance, yes, we should have insurance. I should put like a pro rate of my insurance, which would be like 30 euros, one, easy, and nothing else. So if you see, for this small job, we are going to incur in 1,500. There is some problems. The gaffer is not internal. Yeah, DP is internal. Okay. We are going to incur in 1,300 euros internal costs, 250 external costs, and total cost of 1,550. Okay, we are not overcharging our work. We could say that when we pay our own work, we are not earning as a company. We are just paying our day. So this is the way you have to do it. Where you live, you would know how much you have to charge to pay your day, to bring bread on your table. This is up to now. We didn't talk about profit margin for the company. That's why I left two voices, overhead and required profit, to zero, because we don't know. We are not really thinking about it yet. We are just thinking, look, I don't know exactly how it will be. So let's consider, I would advise you to consider at least 5 or 10% of overheads. Let's say 5%. What are overheads? It's just wrong calculations, a fine, a ticket for parking in the wrong place. I don't know. Whatever it could go over our expenses. You can even forget if it's a simple job. You probably will not have overheads. And then we are going to state our own profit. The profit needs to be considered on top of our costs, the same way as we would be a computer store. We buy the computer, we know that we are buying the computer for 1,550, okay? So, how much you want to earn on this computer? 20%, 30%? Let's apply the minimum profit, which I would consider honestly at least at 30%. And so our profit will be 465 euros on this job. So we should quote the client something around 2,000 and 2,100 euros in order to pay our expenses, to pay our day, to put some bread on the table, and to have profit as a company. Because remember, a company without profit doesn't expand and dies. So ideally, if you go on having zero overheads, let's say, but even if it's irrelevant, or especially zero profit, your company, if exists yet, okay, will become yourself, will become a guy with a camera that goes around doing his jobs without any possibility of growth, okay? And if you are not yet a company, a production house, a small production house, okay, you will never become one, because there's no food, there's no energy to create that production house. The production house and all the environment, the office, the place, whatever you want to do with this production house is made by the profit. Okay, you can invest part of whatever you take for your day of work, maybe if something is left. But for sure, here, the example of the computer that we pay 1,550, you cannot sell a computer for 1,550 because you are not doing any profit. Okay? So that's why here we have to write at least 30-40% in order to go on and to proceed with our company and with something to earn. Now, once we've finished our job, you will see that there is a column called final. It's about the final budget. So we should populate this one with the actual expenses that we incurred. Let's say for transportation, actually we spent 50 euros, not 30. And for the DP, okay, 200. The gaffer, 200. And here, okay, our all internal expenses. We cannot have any surprise. Consumables, yeah, we didn't find an hard drive for 40 euros. We've spent 60 euros. And here we have 200. And actually, color grading took a bit more, let's say 3 hours. And so it's 120 euros. And voiceover was 60. And the music 50. So at this point, there is a difference. Here, we actually had expenses worth 1,710 euros, okay, in the final balance. How much did we invoice the client? Did we do any discount? Maybe the client insisted, and so we invoiced 1,500. So if we invoiced 1,500, we are already, even if we would think, okay, it's not a big discount, we are losing 210 euros. Losing. It's the same example of the computer. It's perfectly rendered here. You are not doing money. You are not earning money. You are just paying your day barely, and not even all your days. You're just working for nothing. I don't say that you should not take any client for less, but I would prefer choosing your beta clients, your brands, the brands that you want to work with, and go there and say, look, this video costs 2,000 euros. My expenses to do this video is 1,500. Pay my expenses. Let's do this be zero. So I would invoice you 1,710 euros. Okay, now we are going on the final. Here I would say 1,550, for example. Okay? Or in case you want to do the first video for a client totally free, inform him of the range of the costs of a certain video, of the exact video that you are shooting for him, so he knows what you are giving for free and what he needs to be ready to pay for future videos. Otherwise, they will never understand. They will think that this kind of video would cost you nothing. €1, 10 euros, 15 euros. There's no rule. The client doesn't know anything about this. So only you are responsible for educating the client about the pricing. There is a rule. If you sell for less than this, you are not doing any business, you are ruining the market. And if everybody would think in this way, the market will be cleaner. I'm not talking so much about the US, because in US everything is a bit straighter on this market and everybody is paid a bit more. But in Europe, I hear Italian voices, Cypriot voices, Spanish voices. Honestly, there is a lot of people going around doing video for nothing. People in Cyprus would shoot this kind of production for 200, 300 euros, not considering anything. Because the camera, they bought it for Christmas. They have very low budget equipment. They do everything by themselves. They underestimate what they have to do. They probably take forever to edit because they have a lot of work. Because of course, to earn something at the end of the month and feed their kids, they have to take like 15, 20 jobs like this to have like 1,500 euros to live. And so this is what is happening. I tell you, it's very simple that when I do a quotation, I did, for example, recently a quotation for a streaming that would last 10 days. And the budget that the client told me was 3,800. I said it's but like with 2 operators. They needed like 3 cameras, 2 YOLO box, different lenses, 10 hours per day. This is nothing. I said, anyway, tell me, whatever is the final price that you can pay, tell me, and I will try to make you happy anyway. They found someone to do all the job for 1,000 euros. Guys, it's nothing. It's like for 1,000 euros, you don't pay the person, you don't pay equipment. I don't know what they will bring, what they will do, but 1,000 euros is zero. There will be always someone doing it for less. But guys, you need to do business. These people will disappear sooner or later. They will not do this job anymore because it's not profitable. Profitable means that makes profit. It's easy. So use your budget, make real business. And when you decide to work for free, at least tell the client, look, I'm giving you a, let's say if you want to give for gift, let's say a watch, a Rolex, would you say, oh, I'm giving you Rolex watch? I mean, the cost is 5,000 euros. Okay, probably you will not say 5,000 euros to the client, but you will say, I'm giving you a Rolex for free. Why you should not inform him about the cost? You can always quote the client and then say the client, look, this is the quote. I would give you this deal for this time. But the client needs to know what is the normal price normally. And sometimes you can even share with the client some part of this budget. It's nothing bad. It's just something that you can show him on your computer and tell, look, these are the expenses if you want to do a video properly. If you want just a guy that comes with his camera that he bought at the supermarket and does a video, it's a different thing. Okay, it's like, if you want your grandma to cook for you, it's fine. But if you want a chef to cook for you, it's different. Okay. So guys, I hope this works for you and helps for you. You find the files actually, because I converted also in Excel. I don't know if all the functionalities honestly are working in Excel, because there is some personalized thing. Like for example, if all the zero values are not shown at all, there is a lot of stuff. There is this mark, this box, checkbox here that it's not supported by Excel. So I don't know if you probably need to recheck everything in Excel. I don't have Excel myself. I don't have any Microsoft software. So yeah, you have to do it yourself in case you have a PC. Thank you for the support to this channel, and see you in the next video, which will be this weekend, because I'm receiving a very new product. I will not disclose to you, but it's arriving, a very small but crazy product that is disrupting the market. Almost nobody talked about it, but it's something extremely new for all Sony users, and I'm very proud to talk about it. See you very soon on Impromptu.